Dear students, today I will discuss about the leaf, that is general introduction, types, simple and compound leaves, phyllotaxy, and different arrangement of leaves and stipules. You can see this is the syllabus. That is the general introduction, types, simple and compound, and also phyllotaxy, kinds of phyllotaxy, and stipules, and their modifications of leaf in that phyllodes, spines, tendrils, hooks, and also insectivorous plants. In that example, pitcher plant, sundew plant, and bladderwort. First, we study the leaf. The leaf may be regarded as the flattened lateral outgrowth of the stem, or the branch developing exogenously, that is from superficial tissue, from a mode or from a node, and having a bud in its axil, having a limited growth, leaf having a limited growth. It is normally green in color and is most important vegetative organ of the plant, since food material is prepared in it. Leaves always follow an acropetal order of development. What are the parts of leaf? You know that leaf is important organ, that leaf is responsible for the photosynthetic part, synthesizing or preparation of the food material. Now we study the parts of leaves. A typical leaf consists of the following parts. First part is the leaf base. Leaf base is the part attached to the stem. In monocot plants, the leaf base commonly expands into a sheath which partially or wholly clasps the stem, while in many dicotyledonous, the leaf base bears two lateral outgrowths known as stipules. Known as stipules. And second one is the petiole. Petiole is the stalk of the leaf. When petiole is present, the leaf is called petiolate leaf. When the petiole is absent and the leaf is said to be sessile, that is the petiole. Then third one, leaf blade. It is also called lamina. Is the green expanded portion, a strong vein known as the midrib runs centrally through the leaf blade from its base to the apex. This produces thinner lateral veins, which in their turn gives rise to still thinner veins or veinlets. The lamina is the most important part of the leaf, since this is the seat for manufacture of the food material for the entire plant. Veins are made of vascular tissues, namely xylem and phloem. They provide mechanical support to the lamina and help in conduction of water and mineral salts. The venation, either reticulate or parallel venation. Reticulate venation we can see in the dicot plants or dicot leaf, whereas parallel venation seen in the monocotyledonous or monocot leaves. Where in the monocot the venation is a parallel, that is the leaf or structure of leaf. You can see the diagram also there, and here parts of leaf can observe: leaf tip, and below is the leaf base, a petiolate, small stipules are there on the other side, leaf lamina or leaf blade, and here the leaf margin, either smooth or any shape, any type of arrangement of margin. Midrib is there, and veins and veinlets, and green in color. It is the kitchen of the plant kingdom. It prepares the food material. Types of leaves. Leaves are classified into two types depending upon the presence or absence of dissection or incision in the leaf lamina. Leaves are classified into two types depending upon the presence or absence of dissection or incision in the leaf lamina. The two main categories are simple leaves and compound leaves. Simple leaves and compound leaves. A simple leaf has a single blade on its stalk, and the stalk is attached to the plant body. The simple leaf. A compound leaf is leaf stalk and has more than one leaf blade on it. That is, more than one leaf blade means more than one leaflets are there in the compound leaves, and the what we call as multiple leaf blades are called leaflets. A simple leaf, when you talk about simple leaf, a simple leaf is a single leaf that is never divided into smaller leaflets units. It is always attached to the twig by its stem or the petiole. The margins or edges of the simple leaf can be smooth, jagged, or lobed, or parted. Lobed leaves will have gaps between lobes but will never reach the midrib. That is the simple leaves. When you observe, they will have gaps between lobes but will never reach the midrib. Example, you can give maple or sweet gum and etc. plants are there. And the third part is the what we called as compound leaves. Compound leaves, a leaf is composed of a number of leaflets on a common stalk, arranged either palmately as the fingers of a hand or pinnately as the leaflets form. The leaflets themselves may be compound. It is said to be compound when the incision of the leaf blade gives down to the midrib, that is, it is connected to the midrib, so that the leaf is broken up into a number of segments called leaflets. A bud is present in the axil of a simple or compound leaf. A bud is present in the simple or compound leaf. That bud is responsible either that it gives single leaf or many leaves. Then different types of compound leaves. There are two main types of compound leaves depending upon the position of leaflets. They are pinnately compound leaves. Second one, palmately compound leaves. A pinnately compound leaf is defined as on which the midrib bears laterally a number of leaflets. That is, a pinnately compound leaf is defined as on in which the midrib bears laterally a number of leaflets arranged either alternately or in opposite manner Example you give as in tamarind, gram, gold mohor, acacia, cassia, etc. In the pinnately compound leaves, again there are different kinds or different types are there. What we call as unipinnate. Unipinnate, only single pinna. When the midrib of a pinnately compound leaf bears the leaflets directly, it is said to be unipinnate. That means the rakish or midrib of the pinnately compound leaf bears the leaflets directly, it is said to be unipinnate. You give the example rose, margosa, or what we called as commonly called as a neem plant. Neem plant. When the leaflets are even in number, that is on the midrib, leaflets are arranged either are even number or they may be odd number. You count them even number. Example, tamarind, you can see tamarind where the leaves are even in number on either side of the rakish, leaves are produced evenly. Such type of leaves are called as a peripinnate leaves or even number of leaves. Second one, you can see in the neem or in the rose where the leaflets are they arranged each other but one odd number of leaf is there, that is called as uneven number or odd number of leaf is there. When the leaflets arise uneven number is called imparipinnate. It's called as imparipinnate. This is called as unipinnate. Among the unipinnate there are two types, peripinnate and imparipinnate. Bipinnate. When the compound leaf where midrib produces secondary axis which bears the leaflets, it is said to be bipinnate. Bipinnate. That's why. That means rakish doesn't produce directly leaflets. It produces secondary rakish. Upon the secondary rakish, leaflets are born or produces. It is called a bipinnately compound leaves. Example you see in Caesalpinia, dwarf gold mohor, acacia, and mimosaceae or the mimosa. This is, you can see the diagram. This is bipinnately compound leaves. Third one, tripinnately compound leaves. Here name itself indicates primary rakish doesn't produce us leaves, it gives second rakish. Second rakish doesn't produce leaves, again it produces tertiary rakish. Upon the tertiary axis or the rakish, where it bears the leaflets, it is said to be tripinnately compound leaves or simply called as tripinnate. You give the example drumstick, commonly called as moringa. Moringa. Fourth one, decompound leaf. When the leaf is more than thrice pinnate, when the leaf has more than thrice pinnate, you can see in the coriander where it is said to be decompound as in because the leaf arrangement more than thrice pinnate, more than thrice pinnate, it is said to be decompound. You can example give the cosmos, carrot, coriander and etc. Then next point is the palmately compound leaves. We have studied the pinnately compound leaves, different kinds of pinnately compound leaves. Now we study the palmately compound leaves. Palmately compound leaf is defined as one in which the petiole bears terminally articulated a number of leaflets which seem to be radiating from a common point like fingers from the palm. You can see in the silkworm or silk cotton tree, bombax, lupin tree, and gynandropsis, and etc. Palmately compound leaf is defined as one in which the petiole bears terminally articulated a number of leaflets which seem to be radiating from a common point, like a finger of a palm, fingers from the palm. Example you can see. According to the number of leaflets, it may be single. It is called as unifoliate. You can see this diagram here. Unifoliate. When a single leaflet is articulated to the petiole, example you can see the citrus, orange, lemon, but it is not common, it is rare. Unifoliate. Second one, bifoliate. Bifoliate. When the when there are two leaflets are articulated, when there are two leaflets are articulated, this is a rare example you can see, that is the balanitis or balangus. You can see it may be trifoliate when there are three leaflets arises from the common point. You can see the picture, oxalis trifoliate. Oxalis are commonly called in eagle also. Eagle, it is called as wood apple, where the leaf is a trifoliate leaf. Like that quadrifoliate leaf of Paris quadrifolia, you can see the four leaflets are there in Marsilia. In pteridophytes, we can see in the Marsilia also. And multifoliate is in Bombyx smilax, where the Bombyx or what we call as a symbol. Name of the plant is symbol, where the multifoliate leaflets are born. Multifoliate leaflets are born.